Is your daughter watching the show, or is she too young? She's 6, right?
She's seen it and she's not impressed with me.
Oh, really?
As a daughter shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like because your daughters aren't like, you're amazing. You know what I mean? When watching you on the show.
Yeah.
Because my daughter said this the other day. I was like,
Come
I
away
made a
from
mistake. We were playing some video game together and I made a mistake and we were on a co-op or something. And I said, I'm sorry. And she goes, that's okay. Dads make mistakes all the time. And I was like,
she's so. I still can't believe she's almost 6.
Almost 6. She's gonna be 6.
Oh my god!
December 9th.
Because which I don't know where you were. You were supposed to be there. We had like a little mini reunion at my house years ago, and she was a baby.
I was the only other like adult that was there. It was all the kids.
Did you feel really old?
Well, having a child there with me too.
Totally. But she was so cute. You weren't the only adult. There were other people there. There were but not a ton. Not a ton.
Yeah. But all of you were just so grown up. It was like, oh my gosh, how much time has like happened in just a short amount of time.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It's like magic.
Yeah.
I was telling Jen in the beginning, I would, if I made a mistake, I would go, oh, fuck your mother's ass. That was me saying a mistake, and then people come up to me and were like, David, they're 14 and 12, so you can't. And I was like, inside, it was like, shit, I'm going to be here for a while and I can't say any bad words. Then a few, months later, they're all saying bad words. Yeah. And I'm like, what? They're saying bad words.
They got different rules.
Yeah. Okay, so we do this thing called Crystal Ball Questions.
Yes. And that's when
and
I get to do
David
this.
gets to enjoy
and I get to play with my wand. What? And I'm going from the bottom here.
Yeah.
All right.
Jen
now we're here.
will ask.
Okay. Oh, so since you were a guest on the show possibly 23 times.
No, it was 23.
23, okay.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite guest star?
Other than you.
Ted McGinley. Yeah.
Oh,
and it was, here's because my heart leapt at the table read. Because I, as a habit, don't read it before a table read. I don't
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I would pour over that sucker.
I know, and probably the best thing you could do for the writers on their behalf
is work on it a little.
Best delivery. But I was going through a lot personally at the time.
Fair enough.
So the best way that I could manage it was, and maybe I would flip through it, before the table read, but there wasn't a lot of study. But I reached the page where it says, well, now that Laritate isn't our principal anymore, I was like, that's the reason McGinley's on this episode. Because he was on every sitcom.
He would
first
replace,
epic,
right?
He would be the person who replaced.
Like Happy Days and then, everything.
That's why it was such a genius casting decision to have him as the superintendent, Clanton. And he was just so cool and such a nice guy. And I was so threatened by him. I thought he was going to be a jerk just because he always plays those sorts of jerk roles, you know? And sometimes people, their personality bleeds out a little bit into the characters.
Sure.
And like, that's why they're like that. But no, he was so sweet and such a kind guy, and so fun to work with. So yeah, I would say out of all the guest stars,
oh, that's
he's the nicest. I worked with him on the Scott Baio show, See Dad Run, and he was. He came up to me, stop it, and boom. And I'm just gonna say it. Scott Baio was an asshole. He was so mean and so not nice, and I'm fine with saying that because he was not nice. He was so not nice to me. And
well, you know
Ted,
what they say about child actors.
They're dicks. No.
Everybody on that show was amazing, and Ted was guest starring, and he came up to me and he was like, "You're doing a great job."
Which is a guest star is like when you're like a one-off or
100%
on a show and you're just trying to like keep up with everybody. That's so nice.
I feel so happy that he was so nice. He made me feel good because Scott made me feel so bad, and if he's listening, hey Scott, how are you? No, it is interesting
on Twitter,
because, like, you're not supposed to say something negative about someone else. My mom always said to me, don't say anything negative. But there's 3 people in my life. He's one of them that I'm allowing myself to say.
He's like, I'm going to name
bad.
all 3 of them right now.
He just was mean. And he didn't have to be. And that was one of the things that was so great about our show. Yeah. Everybody was nice. Everybody worked as a team.
Well, because we also checked people. Like, if you started acting like an asshole, we'd be like, we don't do that,
Exactly.
We nipped that shit in the bud pretty fast. All right, it's your turn.
Joanne Worley was another one. Was
that was such a good one.
Oh, right. I remember somebody of her caliber and her time, you just go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, like when we had Tim Conway on the show, they were
you just let them do their thing.
Yeah, right? And she was so
keep
funny.
Up, you know.
Okay, now I'm going to read this. What's your biggest mistake so far?
My biggest mistake.
Yeah. Like some of these are dark.
Like in life or on the show?
How about both?
Yeah. He's like, no, how about no?
On the show, like I said, I was going through a lot of tough stuff in my life. So sometimes I would take naps on set. Like, why not go into your dressing room if you're going to take a nap? People understand, you know.
Yeah.
But there would be that little area between what would be the pretend to my office when we had those swing sets.
Right. Yeah.
And a swing set is not something on a playground.
I've already described to the audience if they're watching what a swing set is.
There we go. So that office set was hardly ever there. It was just that fake background of that leading into the office.
Right.
Yeah.
That little area there where there was a tiny desk. I would go in there and God knows if I might have been snoring during takes if I was on set because I have sleep apnea too.
Yeah.
I got everything.
I took a lot of naps.
Yeah, but in a dressing room, it's okay.
No, on set, I took a lot of naps.
I did a movie with Eric Roberts, and I was playing stop it. And I was the soccer coach, and I was yelling, and he was supposed to be behind me.
Hold on. What was the project called?
Golden Shoes, and I'm coaching the kids, and he's supposed to talk, and I'm like staying in it, and he's asleep behind me, and I was like, I'm not gonna wake him up. Asleep. Albeit crafty, let me know when he's awake. So sleeping on camera is not good either.
No, that's worse. Arguably worse when you're on camera.
That's a tough question. Thank you for answering.
All right, we'll do one more and then
wait. You know what I said in my biggest mistake when I got that question? I said getting married to the woman I originally got married to. It's the truth. Okay,
I could have thrown two of those out. All right.
Here we go, Jen. For you, there.
Okay. All right, thank you. Oh. All right. What's the most special thing a Wizards fan has said to you?
And several people have said this, was that, like, this show kind of like saved their life. They were at a point where they were abused or, going through, really difficult things in their life, kids, going through, have an identity crisis at that point in their life, going through whatever they're going through, coming out of the closet or, discovering something new about themselves, whatever it may be. And they kind of felt like, like this show was welcoming to them. Like we were a family to them. Some of these people didn't have families, and this show was kind of a family for them.
That's so sweet.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's really, because we've talked about that, about how what was nice is not only the sense of family, but also how the show really celebrated, especially with Alex, and kind of it trickled down from there. People that weren't cookie cutter.
Yes.
Because I felt like we talked about how in a lot of different shows, like the lead was always this perfect person and they had it all together. And Alex was the opposite of that. She did not have it together. She was kind of a hot mess. But that was okay. She was a flawed person, and she was not your typical person. And she showed that it was okay to be different. And I felt like that trickled down to like the whole family. Yeah. And we all loved each other just for us, even though we gave each other shit and, we bickered and things like that. But that means so much to me that people got that from that.
You win,
blows
Bill.
My mind.
That's the best answer to the questions. You definitely win. I have a lot of people, not kids, but people come up to me and say, "You were my childhood."
Yeah, I get that one a lot.
We were with them growing up, and now with the Disney Plus, they get to watch it all over again. Yeah. I mean, completely a new audience and a bigger audience, watching this and having the same, hopefully, reaction to it, where they're feeling comfortable.
And it blows my mind because I just got shot the hell. If my pancreas weren't useless, I'd rip it out of my body.
Okay.
Sell it on the black market.
My pancreas.
No, what I was going to say before I was so rudely interrupted by dead tissue, was basically just that, like, I never. Because Deloise and I were talking too about how, like, as an actor, you just are excited to work. Yeah. And I felt that way too. And I just never thought that I would be a part of something that people would have that kind of response to, and how blessed and, like, I mean, I know that term's overused, but, like, just how lucky I feel.
Yeah, we were very lucky.
I think that says for what, we were talking about earlier is, The most sincere acting you do is when you're not working and not pushing it.
Yeah.
The most sincere work you do as a human being is when you're not working and not pushing it. You're not like, I'm gonna change the world and make the world a better place for people. We were just doing what we loved, and by doing that, we made the world a better place. Exactly. You know,
and we had amazing writing.
Yes,
that helps too.
Yeah, let's just say
it wasn't just the actors.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this clip of Wizards of Waverly Pod. And for the full episode, go to the Wizards Pod YouTube channel. The link is in the description.
And for exclusive weekly bonus content, join our Patreon now. There's a link in the description for that too. Thanks for watching.
Bye now.